All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Passion and Power, the songs of Buffy Ste. I'm so excited to hear these songs from Colleen Kattau, Lindsey Wilson, and Charlie King. So without further ado, we'll get the show started.
All right, here we go. Women of the fields, men of the valleys, workers of the seasons and the soils, strong hearts and hands molding the land, all over earth they toil.
Down in the field, 9 in the morning, day's work 3 hours done. Care for the corn, care for the cows, care for the land we need.
God moves the sun, noon brings a weary man home to his table and his grace. Bow on our knees, thankful that these days are our very home.
Life means our work, home means our children.
Love means each other every day.
Strong hearts and hands molding the lands, all over earth they toil.
Well, welcome everyone again. I'm gonna start. It's great to see everybody here. I'm gonna start the evening off with a few songs, and then Charlie will come on, and then Lindsey, and then we'll be rotating around a little bit like that. So I'd like to start with a song from 1966, Little Wheel, Spin and Spin. But before that, I was just so happy to celebrate Buffy's music, her. And it just so happens that tomorrow is her 83rd birthday. So big shout out to Buffy Ste. Happy birthday. And many of you are fans of hers, but, she's an Oscar winner. She's an educator. She embraced tech and the digital era like early on. And she just is a real trailblazer and really just a fearless advocate for indigenous rights and for the rights of the underdog. She was the first person to breastfeed on TV on Sesame Street, that some of you know, and then Charlie said, what does he say? She's a lover, relentless on the D minor chord. So, so here's a Little Wheel from 1966. Okay, let's see. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Merry Christmas, jingle bells, Christ is born and was in hell. Hearts they shrink, pockets swell, everybody knows but nobody tells. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Oh, the sins of Caesar's men, cry the pious citizens who petty thieve the 5 and 10s. The big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Blame the angels, blame the fates, blame the Jews, so you sophisticate. Teach your children how to hate, and the big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Turn your back on weed you've hoed, silly sinful seed you've sowed, and add your straw to the camel's load. Pray like hell when your world explode. Yeah, little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Yes, swing your girl, fiddler stay, later on the piper pay. Do-si-do, swing and sway, dead will dance on Judgment Day. Yeah, little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around and around. Great, thank you. Thank you so much. I think that was hanging on the A minor a lot, and I think that the metaphor of the workings of the clock, was kind of, and just the relentless rhythm of that song. But it might, when I first heard that song, I always thought of like the us folk, down here, as the little wheels kind of spinning and spinning, and the big wheels kind of just turning around, in their manipulation. That's kind of what I got out of that song. So I'm gonna do this next piece. It's Fallen Angels, and this is on, she hadn't come out with an album in a long time before she came out with her 1992 album, and this one is from Coincidence and Likely Stories, and it's pretty straightforward, and I'm gonna do it just with my guitar, but it sounds real good with a bass and lead guitar, so it's called Fallen Angels. I got a man in the business line. He power hungry, he's a money mind. Smooth as satin, big as time shark. Fallen angels. I got a brother, he's mean as sin. He got a brother who looked just like him, living over in Moscow, two of a kind. How come the great power got the junkie mind? Fallen angels, they never get enough. Fallen angels, they got their addictions. Fallen angels, they live to the skies. Fallen angels, don't you wanna turn them around, turn them around? I got a man in the USA, running guns with the CIA. He's the best that being bad can be. Who'da think he'd do it all for me? What does it matter if you're green or red? The Yankee dollar or the commie threat, when the real power in the real world gonna deny it all anyway. Fallen angels, they never get enough. Fallen angels, they got their addictions. Fallen angels, they lit to the skies. Fallen angels, don't you wanna turn them around, turn them around? You believe in the system from the top on down. Potential is a beautiful thing. It's hard to keep believing in the big time. Now you're sinking in the wind, yeah. Starlight, star bright, somebody going down tonight. Told the truth when it was time to lie. This time you know you got it right. Fallen angels, they never get enough. Fallen angels, they got their addictions. Fallen angels, they lit to the skies. Fallen angels, don't you wanna turn them around, turn them around, turn them around? Thank you very much. Well, I didn't, this song that I learned it from, I heard a couple of albums of her, of Buffy's, in the last few years, and the Medicine songs, and also Power in the Blood, and those two albums really just resonated with me. And this one, The Priest of the Golden Bull, is very mesmerizing, very beautiful song, uh, with a very stark message, you know, and it's called The Priest of the Golden Bull, and she mentions in here the Wendigo or Wendigo, and so I just thought I would read a little bit of what that refers to. Um, it's an Algonquinian spirit, and it's a malevolent spirit, but it has kind of a metaphorical meaning, and it's like a person who is out of equilibrium and estranged from by their communities, actually, and from their communities, and they're individuals thought to be afflicted by the Wendigo spirit, and so they unravel and they destroy the ecological balance around them, and of course the song, you know, refers to the corporate greed and the obsession with money, and I want to say that Buffy Sainte-Marie was really, as you know, some of you know, she was really one of the few well-known musicians in her time, along with Joni Mitchell, and who were famous, you know, musicians who addressed the environmental violence of capitalism, and also the grotesquely disproportionate effects of extractivism and pollution on people of color and Native communities globally. So I want to sing the song for you, and I can't do it like Buffy, so I kind of try to make it my own. Get a little more folky feel, so here we go. Who brought the bomb wrapped up in business cards and stained with steak? Who hires a maid to wash his money? Who keeps politicians on the take? Who puts outspoken third worlders in jail just to shut them down? Well, the lies, they vary from place to place, but the truth is still the same in this town. Money junkies all over the world, they trample us all the way to the bank. They run in every race. Wendigo, Wendigo. Third worlders see it first. The dynamite, the dozers, the cancer in the acid rain. The corporate caterpillars come into our backyards and turn the world to pocket change. Reservations are the nuclear front line. Uranium poison kills. We're starving in a handful of gluttons. We're drowning in their gravy spills. Their tongues are silver forks. There's a lack of wisdom. You can hear it on their breath. Wendigo, Wendigo. It's delicate confronting these priests of the golden bull. They preach from the pulpit of the bottom line. Their minds rustle with $1,000,000 bills. You say silver burns a hole in your pocket and gold burns a hole in your soul. Well, uranium burns a hole in forever. It just gets out of control. There was a crooked man He walked a crooked mile, he raised a crooked sixpence to hide a crooked smile, and he won a crooked vote to hide his crooked style. Windigo, Windigo, their tongues are silver forks, there's a lack of wisdom on their breath. Oh, you know it's on their breath. Windigo, 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 Windigo.
Powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, that song is.
I'm really impressed with the. I learned a lot of Buffy's early stuff, and her later stuff is so rich with these images. And I was thinking while you were singing of it, a group of us, gosh, this would have been maybe 1971, 1972, we made a golden calf. And we mounted it on a pallet with like 4 handles on it, so 4 of us could, like pallbearers carrying the golden calf. And we went to Wall Street. And we walked through Wall Street, and people were like looking at us, And then we walked into a building that had a lot of stockbrokers in it. And they had this television screen that was scrolling the Dow Jones or something, or maybe it was the GDP. I can't really remember, but it was just the figures were rolling so fast you couldn't even keep track of the lower ones. And we walked in with our golden calf, and like nobody looked at us. They were all staring at the screen, watching the numbers roll.
Charlie, someone just asked what's the meaning of indigo, and I was singing Windigo. If you came in late, the Windigo, because I didn't know what that meant either. And hi, Don. It's a malevolent spirit. That's a Algonquin's spirit, and so this is what that takes over a person and leads to a lot of them to do very destructive things. So it's very apropos for a very small group of people in this world at the moment that we're living in. So, sorry, Charlie.
Oh. When I was rehearsing the next song, I was thinking of something that happened a long time ago. I had flown into the Dallas airport to do a concert in Dallas, and why else? And I got a rental car, and as I'm pulling out of the parking lot with the rental car, there's a pickup truck in front of me, and it has a bumper sticker on it, and I'm telling the story all wrong. It wasn't Texas. It was Los Angeles. I flew into Los Angeles, God help me, and picked up a rental car, and I'm pulling out of the parking lot, and there's a pickup truck in front of me, and it says, "Welcome to California. Now go home." And I was kind of put off by that, but then I looked, and the guy had a Texas license plate, and I figured, it didn't take him long to slam the door behind him. I'm always kind of puzzled by the antipathy towards immigrants, since we all are. And here's a song Buffy wrote about to counteract that. It's an old song, but it really needs to be sung today, I think. Oh, welcome, welcome, emigrante, to my country. Welcome home, welcome, welcome, emigrante, to the country that I love. I am proud, and I'm proud of my forefathers, and I say, they built this country, and they came from far away to a land they didn't know, the same way you do, my friend. So welcome, welcome, emigrante, to my country. Welcome home, welcome, welcome, emigrante, to the country country that I love. It occurs to me this would not be a difficult song for you to sing with me, so why don't you do that? I am proud, I am proud, I am proud of my forefathers, and I sing about their courage. For they spoke a foreign language and they labored with their hands the same way you do, my friend. Welcome, 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 emigrante, to my country. Welcome home, welcome, welcome, emigrante, to the country that I love. I am proud, I am proud, I am proud of my forefathers, and I sing about their patience. For the work they did was lowly, and they dirtied up their clothes. For they spoke a foreign language, and they labored with their hands, and they came from far away to a land they didn't know, the same way you do, my friend. Welcome, oh welcome, welcome, emigrante, to my country. Welcome home, welcome, welcome, emigrante, to the country that I love. That one's going to stay in the repertoire. Lots of reasons for singing that. I want to sing the first song that I ever learned that Buffy Ste had written. And it's pretty well self-explanatory. And it doesn't let any of us off the hook. I know in a lot of the songs we'll be singing tonight, we'll be pointing the finger at people in power, but this one asks a question of all of us, I think. Can you remember the time when you have held your heads high and told all your friends of your Indian claim? Proud good lady and proud good man, your great-great-grandfather from Indian blood sprang, and you feel in your heart for these ones. Oh, it's written in books and in songs that we've been mistreated and wrong. But over and over I hear the same words from you, good lady, and you, good man. Well, listen to me now, if you care where we stand and you feel you're a part of these ones. When a war between nations is lost, the loser we know pays the cost. But even when Germany fell to your hands, consider, dear lady, consider, good man, you left them their pride, and you left them their land. And what have you done to these ones? Has a change come about, Uncle Sam? Or are you still taking our land? A treaty forever George Washington signed. Yes, he did, dear lady, yes, he did, dear man. And the treaty's being broken by Kinzawa Dam. And what will you do for these ones? Oh, it's all in the past, you can say, but it's still going on here today. The government now wants the Iroquois land, yes, that of the Seneca and the Cheyenne. It's here and it's now, you must help us, dear man. now that the buffalo's gone. It's up to you, Lindsey.
Oh, the buffaloes. Now that the buffalo's gone. Thank you very much, Charlie.
My pleasure.
This is great. Hi, everyone. Buffy Sainte-Marie, I remember my mom having some Buffy Sainte-Marie songs in her catalog, but I really didn't listen as much. I was young. I was a child. But as I've gotten older, I realized that Buffy and I have a lot in common as far as like really shouting out our lyrics, you know, really putting a lot of energy behind it. I've seen YouTube clips, and of course, you know, I've seen her singing, and her voice is just piercing. And she always has a message. And I was really happy to be able to take on, you know, and being invited by Colleen and Charlie to sing some Buffy Sainte-Marie songs. This song that I'm going to sing, I didn't really know about it, but Charlie King suggested I give it a go. And so I'm going to give it a go for you. It's called Los Pescadores. My feet, they are naked, my hands on my hips. My eyes to the ocean and open my lips. Los pescadores. They came with a crash on the crest of the shore. And they're out in their boats and they're on to the shore. Oh, los pescadores. And they wrench with the wave and they strain with a rope. They dig in the sand and they bend to the smoke. Los pescadores. And the weight of the men and the sound of the sea, the hardness of them and the softness of me. Oh, los pescadores. And I'll stand with the fishermen, silent and gay. I'll lead off the sun and I'll drink off the spray. Oh, los pescadores. Oh, los pescadores. Oh, los pescadores. All right. All right. And so, thank you. I'm going to do a song that I think many of us know called We Are Circling. And there is an intensity in this song, a build. We are circling together. We are growing. We are striving. And Buffy makes that quite clear. As Colleen was saying earlier, you want to make it your own in some cases. And this song kind of took me on that journey. So we're going to go on a ride together. So hang on, buckle up. Here we go. Buffy Ste. We Are Circling. We are circling, circling to get. Whoa, sorry. For a fret. Here we go. This is even better. Much better. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing a heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are spiraling, spiraling together. Onward, inward, creature to creation. Holy mystery, mother, childbirth. This is Mother Nature. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing a heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are spinning, spinning all together. We are singing over the rainbow. This is harmony. This is community. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing a heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. We are ripening, ripening together. Babies, elders, bozos and angels. This is how we grow. This is how we get to know. This is family. This is sacred. We are circling, circling together. We are singing, singing a heart song. This is family. This is unity. This is celebration. This is sacred. This is celebration. This is sacred. This is celebration. This is sacred. All right. Buffy Ste. songs are fun. They're powerful. They're informative. They're inspiring. So let's see. What else do we have?
Yeah, Lindsey. Good. I got another one like that coming up. Yeah.
Good.
And I do want to say that the song I did, the Wendigo song, someone was commenting that, I when I first heard that song, I cried, I mean, it was so, and she doesn't sing that song. She speaks it like a poem. And, I really sang it like a lament, because it's just kind of unfathomable to me. And I probably will start crying now too, that people can be so cruel and so heartless, and not just come from a space of love in whatever they do, and there's a time for anger, and I share that anger a lot. And I that's one of the things I love about, Buffy Ste. just putting it all out there. And this next song, it's kind of, I'm going to get my Long Island accent on. And there's a very cathartic refrain for you, and it's just the war racket. So I hope that who's ever listening out there will just go, yeah, that's the war racket, because that's how I'm going to sing it. You can sing it however you want, but it's basically the war racket. So here we go. One of those D minor ones. Oh, you're slick, you investors in hate, you Saddams and your Bushes, your Bin Ladens and snakes. You billionaire bullies, you're a globalized curse. You put a war on the masses while you clean out the purse. And that's how it's done, war after war. Your old feudal parasites sacrifice the poor. You got the cutting edge of weapons, but your scam's still the same as it's been to the Romans. It's the patriot game. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. Yeah, that's the war racket. You twisters of language, you creeps of disguise, your disinformation like worms in your eyes. You privileged bankers, you gambling thieves, you profit on war. There's less money in peace, and that's how it's done. Country after country, time after time, pineapple bed, time after time. You pretend it's religion, but there's no one to blame for the dead and impoverished in your little patriot game. Honey, that's the war racket. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. Got the world's greatest power, and you team up with thugs. You make a fortune on weapons, destruction and drugs. But your flags and your boots and your uniforms look the same when both sides are killing in the patriot game. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. That's the war racket. And that's how it's done. And war is never holy, it's just a greedy man's dream. And you two-faced crusaders, both sides are obscene. War's not made by God, war's made by men who misdirect our attention while you thieves do your thing. And that's how it's done, about every 30 years. The rich fill the coffers, the poor fill with tears. The young fill the coffins, the old hang a wreath. The politicians get photographed with their names underneath. And that's the war racket. 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 All right. Now for something completely different. This is just a really beautiful love song that many of you I know will know. I think it's one of her, more famous songs. They've been covered by quite a number of people, and I don't know the year she wrote it. It was quite a few decades ago. In a way, an earlier song of hers, and I read a little bit about it, and it was actually kind of coming together, two lovers coming together to eventually, to leave, but just to be together, for one last time. So it's called Until It's Time for You to Go. All right, so it's like this. You're not a dream, you're not an angel, you're a man. I'm not a queen, I'm a woman, take my hand. We'll make a space in the lives that we planned, and here we'll stay till it's time for you to go. Yes, we're different worlds apart, we're not the same. We laughed and played at the start like in a game. You could have stayed outside my heart, but in you came, and here you'll stay till it's time for you to go. Don't ask why, ask how. Don't ask forever. Oh, let's love each other now. This love of mine, it has no beginning, it has no end. I was an oak, now I'm a willow I can bend. And though I'll never in my life see you again, here we'll stay till it's time for you to go. Don't ask why of me, don't ask how of me. Don't ask forever of me. Oh, love me now. You're not a dream, you're not an angel, you're a man. I'm not a queen, I'm a woman, take my hand. We'll make a space in the life that we planned, and here we'll stay till it's time for us to go. And here we'll stay till it's time for you to go.
Wow, that was sweet.
Yeah, you mean the first one?
Well, they're all love songs, as Pete Seeger used to say.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Hand it over to you, Charlie.
Oh, thanks, Colleen. Yeah, that was a beautiful memory. This is a song that was written in 1963, and it was written in the fairly early days of American involvement in Vietnam. And I heard it shortly after it was written, and I was disinclined to sing it. And then more recently, I listened to an interview with Buffy Ste, and this is something I'd highly recommend. She has a lot of interviews online talking about the songs that she's written and sung. And I was persuaded by her intent and the feeling that she brought to this particular song. And I've been singing it for the last few years, and it's the Universal Soldier. And I was a little skittish about the idea of placing responsibility on, you know, the boots on the ground, the men and women who are actually paying the price for war. But I think her point is a good one, that eventually we have to get to the point where we say no. As a lot of the songs have pointed out, and in the war racket, certainly, the people that don't do the fighting have very little investment in peace and a lot of investment in war, or at least using war as a tool to protect their interests. And so it's the people who pay the price that are most likely, I think, to put a halt to it. I've been reading a lot about World War I recently, and boy, you look at the reality of that, and you can't imagine that it wasn't the war to end all wars. You can't imagine that people would go back and start it all over again. But they did, and they do, and they are. And so I guess we keep singing this song. He's 5'2", and he's 6'4". He fights with missiles and with spears, and he's all of 39, and he's only 17. He's been a soldier for 1,000 years. He's a Catholic, a Hindu, an atheist, a Jain, a Buddhist and a Baptist and a Jew. And he knows he shouldn't kill, and he knows he always will kill you for me, my friend, and me for you. He's fighting for Canada, he's fighting for Spain, he's fighting for the USA. He's fighting for the Russians, and he's fighting for Ukraine, and he thinks he'll put an end to war this way. He's fighting for democracy, he's fighting for the Reds. He says it's for the peace of all. He's the one who must decide who will live and who will die, and he never sees the writing on the wall. But without him, how could Hitler have condemned them at Dachau? Without him, Caesar would have stood alone. He's the one who gives his body as a weapon of the war, and without him all this killing can't go on. He's the universal soldier, and he really is to blame. His orders come from far away no more. They come from him and you and me. And brothers, can't you see, this is not the way we put an end to war. No mistake that most of the emails and messages that I'm getting about the current conflict in Palestine are coming from Veterans for Peace, people who have experienced that violence and have decided to reject it and work for peace. This next song it kind of turned my head around by listening to an interview with Buffy Ste explaining what she meant as she put this song together. I first learned it out in Tucson. Ted Warmbrand, who's with us tonight, sang it, and it stuck in my head, but I never took the time to learn it until the last couple of weeks. It's called The Big Ones Get Away. And what Buffy Ste said in the interview was she pointed to the history, the recurring history of people finally having had enough with the lies and the subterfuge and the self-seeking, and they turn on it and they start telling the truth and they start revealing the facts and they start letting the cat out of the bag, and then they very quickly get thrown under the bus. And the whistleblowers turn into the enemies of the state when they're only trying to work for the health of the state. So that's kind of the background to this song. And I thought, singing it today, I thought I would like to dedicate it to people who have been recently fired or canceled for speaking out for the rights of Palestinian people. The big ones get away. Hey, I just got back from town where the bribes are paid, and they turn my offer down, say the deal's already made. So now I must stand and watch while it all comes down, and the buzzards and the hawks and the judges and the mob circle round. Now if I were the queen of all the world, I would go in chains just to see you free of the ropes that bind you and the role you play and the pride that hooks you while the big ones get away. Love junkies want to change the world. It quickly stays the same. Money junkies hire all the smart ones. Power junkies run the game, one step at a time. Polarity Hill. If the bad guys don't get your babe, then the good guys will. With angels on the take and the gangsters in the yard. Hey, don't the wars come easy? Say, don't the peace come hard? If I had a way to reach the sky, oh, I'd grab that crescent moon, wield it like a knife, save you from the lies, from the ropes that bind you and the role you play and the game that hooked you while the big ones get away. Oh, ooh, ooh,
All right, Charlie.
all right, Lindsey.
Wow. There's so much to... These are emotional songs, too. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the history behind the songs. I think it's, as we segue into the next song I'm going to do, Working for the Government. I can guarantee you I do not work for the government. Thank you. But this song does speak to, especially back in the 70s and the 80s, you know, lots of informants and people floating around who are working for the government that were very responsible for destroying many of our community organizations that were trying to do the good work to help the people. And so listening to this song again, this song was very hard driving. I know you've heard it. It's very demanding, and she's giving it. She's giving it everything she has. And so I thought I'd try to slow it down a little bit so that, you know, we can hear these words and hear what she's trying to say, because the sarcasm is dripping throughout this song. So I'm going to see if I can do it justice. It's called Working for the Government. The neighbors like him, think he's a great guy. He wears a necktie, he's working for the government. He gets you elected, he take the heat, y'all. He knows the plan, yeah. He's working for the government. Civil servant, y'all. Moves tight uniform. He keeps a place in town. He working for the government. He keeps his mouth shut. Nobody knows him. He G.I. Joe, yeah. He's working for the government. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, hi, yeah. 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 Love comes around, he never feels a thing. he sees right through it all. He's working for the government, high places, low places, man of influence, Mr. Invisible. He's working for the government, hot, cold, hot work, cold war, money and guns. It's all the same to him. He's working for the government. Your country, my country, gun for hire, y'all. Mercenary 101. He's working for the government. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, hi, yeah. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, hi, yeah. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, hi, yeah. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, yeah. He's professional. He's James Bond, yeah. He comes from nowhere. He's working for the government. Uptown, downtown, anywhere the chips are down. Your town, my town. He's working for the government. Hi, 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 yeah, hi, hi, yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. He's working, 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 working for the government. Okay. Started out a little slow, a little soft, and then got louder, but I think we got the point. You know, these flashy suits, and they're going into, well, I don't even want to go in there. I won't go there. This is the Buffy Ste show. Let's keep it there. But yeah, I really enjoy her music. I'm going to really learn more, and because she has something to say, and we as songwriters, we have something to say, and we need to say it now more than ever. This next song is kind of taking a step back. It's a sweet song. It's a tender song. It's called Hey Little Rockabye. And it was, Buffy Ste wrote this song for the animal adoption agencies, which we all support here, right? And she wrote it for, to get people to think about adopting animals and pets. I adopted my cats, and they were the foreman of my life. They were such joy. And so we want to thank Buffy Ste for writing this song, because it had a huge impact, I am sure, in having our friendly four-legged friends, getting homes, and that's very important. I know there's a lot of people out here who love animals like I do. So thank you, Buffy Ste for this song, and we're going to give it a go. It's called Hey Little Rockabye. Okay. Hey, hey, little rockabye. Hey, hey, little darling. Hey, hey, little rockabye. You've got someone who loves you. Were you born on a cold winter's day? Are you a poor little orphan? Did somebody throw you away? Well, now you've got someone who loves you. Hey, hey, little rockabye. Hey, hey, little darling. Hey, hey, little rockabye. You've got someone who loves you. You didn't get no choice. You didn't get no vote when they dropped you off at the shelter. All you had was your little fur coat, and now you've got someone who loves you. Hey, hey, little rockabye. Hey, hey, little darling. Hey, hey, little rockabye. You've got someone who loves you. Hey, hey, little rockabye. Hey, hey, little darling. Hey, hey, little rockabye. You've got someone who loves you. You've got someone who loves you. It's a sweet song, tender song.
Thanks for that. I just want to say one of the things that makes it intimidating to sing a night of Buffy Sainte-Marie songs is she has this incredible voice. And so, the best you can do is be faithful to the lyrics and hope for the best. But I'm so glad, Lindsey, that you joined us tonight because I think you bring a powerful voice to these songs that's pretty hard to match. And I've really enjoyed listening to you do that tonight.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. What an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful. That song is just so. I was harmonizing right along.
Right. Yes, Colleen. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful and the sentiment. It's tender. It's anyone who has a pet who loves their loves their four-legged friends will be able to relate to that song. But she had so many ranges.
Yeah.
So versatile in the messages, in her voice, in the presentation. So yeah, there's a lot there to unpack with Buffy Sainte-Marie. This won't be the last time we do this, or people probably take a hold of it and say, yeah, let's try some Buffy Sainte-Marie songs, because as they are challenging, they are very thoughtful and thought-provoking. So yeah, totally into that.
Might not be a bad time to talk about how this sort of the seeds of this night came about. Lindsey and Colleen and I and a bunch of other people, Grace, and who else is here? Ben and Cheryl are here, and Hugh Hanley is here, and apologies if I'm not acknowledging other people here because I can't see your faces, but we all get together for a night of singing. Oh, Rick Burkhart.
Yeah.
And it starts last summer. It starts around 7:00 in the evening, and we knocked off about what was like 2:00 in the morning. Just song after song after song, and not all Buffy Sainte-Marie songs, but at all. But lots and lots of Beatles songs and Sam Cooke songs and songs from all over. Anyhow, the next morning after a hearty breakfast, we were talking about what we were going to do next, and that's where the idea. I think it was your idea, Colleen. That we
Colleen.
An evening of Buffy Sainte-Marie songs, and Lindsey signed on right away, and I was excited about it too. So thanks for thinking about that, Colleen.
Yes, Colleen.
Thank you. I was also thinking. During the last song, Lindsey, what a roller coaster this is, an emotional roller coaster, going from these, as you said, dripping with sarcasm, attack songs, and then it's like, sweet little rockabye. And but that's part of her strength, as you point out. She has so much to say and says it so beautifully. I was just quick checking my phone to see if I could find out when this next song was written. Do either of you know?
No, I know it's quite a while back, but I don't know.
One of her earlier pieces.
One of her earlier pieces, for sure.
Probably the song that I have most quoted There's so many strong lines in this song, and yet I never could quite bring myself to put it into my repertoire. It's a strong song. There's a lot of darkness in the song, but it's such an important statement of history, and so it's a real privilege to be able to share it with you two and with all the folks who are here tonight. What are you thinking about it, Colleen?
I have always, I mean, when the first time I heard this song, I just couldn't believe it. And it was just so amazing, and I was just so taken with the song because of its power, and knowing, I neglected to say earlier, and that we are on the occupied territory of the Haudenosaunee, and more specifically up here in central New York, the Syracuse area, the Onondaga Nation, and invited some of my friends to come tonight. I'm not sure if they came, but because we've learned so much, from our native indigenous neighbors, and I mean, I could go on and on about that. Especially here in central New York. I mean, I don't even think the women's movement, the early feminists, would have been as radical as they were without being adjacent and friends to their indigenous cultures here, the Oneida and the Onondaga and others. And so when I heard this song, and just knowing what I know, about all of the Americas in particular, but it's, throughout the globe, the first peoples, the indigenous people, and even way back in Europe, the native peoples there, just kind of overrun and just invaded and dominated, by the powers that be, who are these people. And I tried to cover the song, I mean, I never covered it out, but I tried to do it, and I'm like, well, maybe I should change the pronouns. I mean, because it's just a song that has to be, and I mean, the point of view, because, I'm not like an essentialist at all, but it just seemed, it's more like for native voice to sing, right? Indigenous voice to sing. But I also felt this really strong, wanting to do the song, to sing the song. So I'm really glad we're doing it tonight. It's very powerful.
It tugs.
So let's tell that story.
All right.
It's 1966, by the way.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
It was released. That's when it was.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And probably worth saying that we're going to do this and then one other song, and that'll be our evening. But this is a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And so I'm so grateful for everyone coming out too. So it's really
Thank
wonderful.
you for coming out. Yes.
Yeah. Now that your big eyes have finally opened, now that you're wondering how they must feel, meaning them that you've chased across America's movie screens.
Now that you're wondering, how can it be real that the ones you've called colorful, noble, and proud,
And your school's propaganda, they starve in their splendor. You've asked for my comment, I simply will render. My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
Now that the long houses breed superstition, you force us to send our toddlers away to your schools where they're taught to despise their traditions. Forbid them their languages, then further say that American history really began when Columbus set sail out of Europe, then stress
that the nation of leeches that conquered this land are the biggest and bravest and boldest and best. And yet, where in your history books is the tale of the genocide basic to this country's birth, of the preachers who lied, how the Bill of Rights failed.
How a nation of patriots return to their earth, and where will it tell of the Liberty Bell as it rang with a thud over Kenzuan mud, and the brave Uncle Sam in Alaska this year.
My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Hear how the bargain was made for the West, with her shivering children in 0 degrees. Blankets for your land, so the treaties attest. Oh, well, blankets for land is a bargain indeed.
And the blankets were those Uncle Sam had collected from smallpox-diseased dying soldiers that day. And the tribes were wiped out, and the history books censored. 100 years of your statesmen have felt it's better this way, yet a few of the conquered have somehow survived. Their blood runs the redder, though genes have been paled.
From the Grand Canyon's caverns to Craven's sad hills, the wounded, the losers, the robbed sing their tales. From Los Angeles County to upstate New York, the white nation's fattens while others grow lean. Oh, the tricks and the evicted, they know what I mean.
My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
Now that the rivers are dumps for your chemicals, now that the forests are dead like the moon, now that my life's to be known as your heritage, now that even the graves have been robbed, now that our own sacred ways are your novelty, hands on our hearts, we salute you, your victory.
Choke on your blue, white, and scarlet hypocrisy, pitying your blindness that you've never seen, that the eagles of war whose wings lend you glory, they were never no more than carrion crows, pushed the wrens from the nest, stole their eggs, changed their story.
The mockingbird sings it, it's all that she knows. Ah, what could I do? Say a powerless few, with a lump in your throat and a tear in your eye. Can't you see that their poverty's profiting you? My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
The past, it just crumbles, the future just threatens. Our lifeblood shot up in your chemical tanks.
And now here you come, bill of sale in your hands, and surprise in your eyes that we're lacking in thanks for the blessings of civilization you've brought us.
The lessons you've taught us, the ruin you've wrought us. Oh, see what our trust in America's brought us. My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Oof.
Well, got one more song and one more chance to say thank you. I always like to say thank you to Grace McHenry, who comes in early and stays late, who spotlights and sound checks and puts out the word and sends you your links so you're able to be here.
Yay!
Yay, Grace. And want to thank Colleen for cooking up this idea to begin with, and Lindsey for bringing that strong voice and wonderful performance, and for the songs that you all chose. I think they were great. And of course, we had a great repertoire to pick from. This is one of Buffy's earliest songs, I'm pretty convinced. And it's a fine song to end on. It's a peaceful song. It's a wistful song. And you all stick around, because after we finish, we'll be going to gallery and seeing everybody's faces, have a chance to chat.
Yeah.
Maybe before we end, might be worth asking, what have you got coming up in the future as a performer, Colleen?
A couple of things. I have a local piece that I'm doing it's like a women's concert, and then at the end of the month I'm going to be doing this pretty raucous hula hooping political hula hoop number with my friend Alison Frost, and
Our trademark.
that's going to be very fun, as well as some other antics, And so those are the most recent. That's in March, and I have a few things in April and on into the summer. So, how about you, Lindsey? What's coming up for you?
Well, it's still Black History Month. They say it's more than a month. So I am going to still be celebrating on the 23rd. Coming up on Friday. I'm going to be performing at the Communist Party office, the headquarters on 23rd Street. And I've been invited to share my songs and for us to talk and really continue to celebrate our heroes and the contributions that Black people, African Americans, the Negro, however you want to look at it, we have contributed. So yeah, I'll be doing that on the 23rd, and I'll be posting something with regards to that. Great. So people can come through.
And Grace, what will we be doing? Let's think. Actually, Grace is going off on a grand tour of Central and South America and leaving me adrift here in North America. And I'm going to do a solo show. So most of the next month, I'll be rehearsing my solo songs. It'll be on St. Patrick's Day, Sunday, March 17th. And if you're here, you'll probably get a mailing about it, or 2 or 3, and a night of all Irish songs. And I look forward to it every year. And so I hope you'll join us for that. That's going to take up a lot of my energies in March. And then in April, I'm going to be doing a Zoom concert with Rebel Voices, Janet Stecker and Susan Lewis. How wonderful they are. And if you've ever worked with them, you'll know that I'll have more than enough to do just rehearsing and arranging with Rebel Voices. And then later in April, Marcia Taylor and I, old Bright Morning Star compadres, will be doing an in-person concert, a house concert in Providence, Rhode Island. So check out our websites for information on that and how to get to the house concert. So I think that sort of gives you an idea of what we'll be up to in the next little while. And as Lindsey said, thank you all so much for coming out and joining us, and look forward to chatting with all of you. And if you know this song or any part of this song, please sing it with me. A good friend of mine that I work with in Eastern Kentucky at a poverty program down there in the late 60s. I think it's the first person I've heard sing this song. And when I was down visiting her a couple of weeks ago, I told her we'd be doing this show. I don't know if she came or not, but I'm going to sing it anyway. We're all going to sing it. Piney Wood Hills. I'm a rambler and a rover, and a wanderer it seems. I've traveled all over, chasing after my dreams. but a dream should come true, and a heart should be filled, and a life should be lived in the piney wood hills. I'll return to the woodlands, I'll return to the snow, I'll return to the hills and the valley below. I'll return like a poor man or a king if God wills, but I'm on my way home to the piney wood hills.
I was raised on a song there, I done right, I done wrong there, and it's true I belong there, and it's true it's my home. From ocean to ocean, I've rambled and roamed, and soon I'll return to my piney wood home. Maybe someday I'll find someone who will love as I love my piney wood hills.
I was raised on a song there, I done right, I done wrong there, and it's true I belong there, and it's true it's my home. I'll return to the woodlands, I'll return to the snow, I'll return to the hills and the valley below. I'll return like a poor man or a king if God's wills, but I'm on my way home to the tiny wood hills. Yes, I'm on my way home to the tiny wood hills. Ooh.
Good work. Good work. Yeah. Hey, we forgot to thank Buffy for a life of enormous integrity and passion and power and devotion, and an incredible songwriter who gave us all these songs that we got to sing tonight.
Oh yeah, and it's only really the tip of her iceberg, as I
Right.
like to say. It really is. It's just, it's she, because someone who can, Up Where We Belong, which is this pop tune that she won the Oscar for, can do these incredible pieces. So I'm just really grateful for folks who appreciate her, and it's really good to see everybody